Hi everyone. Welcome to this short discussion about what well-being is in an organization and how can we connect it with revenue. This is a part of the series Business Without Anxiety. My name is Jeev Sahu like Yahoo. I am a business consultant, entrepreneur, investor, but life happened to me as well, like anyone else. I had a bereavement, and that led to generalized anxiety. And everybody said, "You're still fine. Watch some videos, go for a run." Even the doctor said, "Come back when things get worse." And I found that when things are mild, we try to tolerate them, we try to ignore them, we do DIY, we watch some video, try to do something. But if we are not resolving the main issue, and if it has started affecting our business and revenue, then it has gone worse. So, this is why I'm speaking about well being in a different way, in a quantified way, in a practical way. So, what do we know about well being in an organization? These days, everybody is talking about well being. It's a big topic. There are huge trainings happening, and many people have given me feedback that they just show up because they have to. Some HR leaders have said they have to do it. It's a checklist exercise. And even after doing a lot of trainings, they don't see anything changing. There is a lot of noise, people talking, but the people who are actually anxious, actually stressed, actually overwhelmed, they are given a day off or some resource on a website, but things haven't moved. They come back again with a new problem. Why does that happen? Why do things like YouTube videos and video courses not help? The reason is it's less about a checklist exercise and more about a feeling of safety. So, as an organization, if you are building a safe organization, it reflects with the employees, it reflects with the customers, it reflects with you. And you might be surprised. What are you talking about? We are a safe organization. First, we are talking about feeling safe inside. Are people okay to talk about well being to each other, or is it still considered a fluffy subject, a subject only for HR people, a subject only because we have to do it? Or, yeah, when I was younger, I used to do this, I used to leave my feelings outside the door and focus on work, or there is a difference between work and feelings and so forth. If that kind of culture is going on, then people are not feeling safe inside. And you, as a leader, have to ensure that they feel safe. That's the first thing about well being. It's less about mental health first aid, which, by the way, I feel is a great course to do. However, it shows us how to detect things, how to look at things. But if you are going through it yourself, you have to start taking preventive measures for yourself without waiting for things to get worse. This is where having a support system is extremely useful. There have been many studies about which community has highest level of depression, lowest level of suicide, and so forth. And irrespective of the results, I have found one thing, and that has been proven again and again. The community where you have sharing and support has the lowest incidence of depression and highest amount of resilience, best well-being over there. Why? They know that someone is there without judging. I have seen this in organizations where they have coffee club or a golf club or something like that, where they don't need to talk about their feelings. However, they know that if something is going on, They have someone to talk without being judged, without thinking that this is a personality issue, that this is a personality character or something. Someone might have a bereavement, it has nothing to do with their talent. Someone might be going through money issues, it has nothing to do with the business they work with. Someone might just be worried about the economy, the news, the war. But if we talk about it, if we share it in a regulated, using some techniques in a regulated manner and using some techniques, you will see that we go towards harmony, feeling safe, and connecting it to revenue. I'll show you how. Now, talking is not just about moaning or complaining about situations. We get a lot about that. It makes you feel good for some time. But like we have seen in the anxiety distraction cycle, you might feel good for some time, but then again it comes back because we haven't talked about solutions, we haven't done anything that has changed something inside us. And that's where Mindly differs because we share practical solutions where you can actually see how to implement it every day. And that is so key. And then comes the word resilience. When you see these big speakers on YouTube and these motivational speakers who talk about resilience, and somebody has climbed the Mount Everest and somebody has gone through big problems of life, I respect it. But resilience comes with problems. You face it, you grow out of it, you learn lessons, and so forth. However, that is still down the line. We need to feel safe from day one. We need to feel safe in any case. Just because we exist, we need to feel safe. And you, as a business leader, have to ensure that not just you are taken care of and the organization is taken care of, but every team member is thinking the same way, that I feel all right in sharing this kind of information with my colleagues. What words to use, what to share, what not to share. And those are the real definition of well-being than becoming a PhD in a checklist exercise. Really, that's the real feedback from organizations who are struggling, who are going through crisis, who are firefighting, and they look at you with a disgusting face when you say, "Are you taking care of your well-being?" And they say, "Do you know what I am going through? How many challenges I'm facing right now? And I don't have the money nor time to look at this." People can go and watch videos on YouTube and elsewhere, or there are founders who keep reading 50 books every year or whatever. That doesn't help. There is a different way. You can start with that, but once you start converting it to actionable items in a support group, there you start feeling safe, and then you know, I'm not alone, I have someone else, and I am not being judged when I'm talking about these topics. In fact, this actually relates to the revenue of the business. We have a different slide where we share how it connects to even customer care, absenteeism, positive presentism, and so forth. But let's look at this one. Better mental well being makes you feel safer. When you feel safer, you take clearer decisions. And the decisions you take are the key things that lead to productivity and revenue. And when the individual and the company both are feeling clear in their decisions, it starts contributing to revenue. And we have measured it. We have connected it to the income statement. We have connected it to the customer reviews. We have connected it to employee reviews. We have connected it to many things, and it can be quantified. Once you quantify it, once you can measure it, you can see that you can do something about it. And there is no shame nor stigma associated with it. The emotions that are listed on the right side, they're taken from our emotion matrix. On the left side, we have all the so called negative emotions, and on the right side, we have the connected or positive emotions. And I say there is nothing called negative emotions, they're all protective. People have these emotions because they want to protect something else. So there is a layer to that. But the reason I have listed these emotions on the right is because these are the ones that are really, really appreciated at the workplace. Being curious, being inquisitive, motivated, stimulated, constructive, engaged, eager, artistic, confident, ambitious, absorbed, and so forth. And this engagement can be directly related to the revenue you are creating, everything else being constant. If you and your team are not feeling safe enough, that affects your decisions. So I'm not talking about safety as danger to life, safety as danger to something really, really serious as you see in movies. What I really want to emphasize are the mild stuff that you're ignoring every day. It's like people tolerate the hay fever thinking it will go away. It's a small thing. But if it stays for a long, long time, it starts creating permanent problems. And this is why the small things, can I share this with my manager or will I be considered less talented? Can I share this with my colleague or they will put it back on me saying that I'm a complainer? Can I share this with someone else who is ready to hear? Or can I hear someone who is ready to complain or just walk away thinking that this person is always complaining? And if you are that person who is always complaining, what makes you do that? It is that mental safety that we are talking about. And there is a big spectrum, there's a big gap. You have stress, you have anxiety, and before it even becomes burnout, there is a big gap. Before it becomes a mental health disorder, there is a big gap. But we can do a lot of prevention much, much before. But if we don't talk about it, if we don't share more about it, if we don't use the right kind of words, then how can we improve? How can we have the confidence to talk about it? Everybody listens to the guy who is talking about the money, the financial statements, the customer reviews, etc. But no one has thought, if this guy who is actually creating the report is not in the right state of mind, what can the organization do to help? Instead of saying, here's a day off, here's a resource you can, I mean, I was given, here's a PDF, go read it and you will be fine. Here's an online course. We do online courses, but they are with a difference. They convert it to an action and there is a tracking over there. But if you just do one course after another, one workshop after another, one checklist item, one PDF after another, does that really help? And nobody is even listening. People cover it up with sarcastic comments and they are like, yeah, this guy, he keeps talking about well-being, he keeps talking about this. Or the other way around, he keeps moaning about how things are not good, or she keeps moaning about how things were not good and how this could have been better and so forth. Do you really know how much a founder is going through, how much C-level leaders are going through? And people brush it away, saying that I will come back to it when my business is better. But do you realize that the business, the customer service, the employee happiness, the presentism, It's not getting better because of this. And if we do small steps, then it will start getting better. You don't need to spend a lot of budget on this. You don't need to spend a lot of time on this. But what you need to do is to give the right attention to this so that we grow together. No one is stressed while remote working, while having a day off, while watching Netflix, just because they got a day off, and still it has not solved the problem. They might be worried about something else that we haven't actually taken the time to listen. And I will end this by saying a quote from one of our speakers who came on this show: listen for something instead of listening to someone. There was a level where people did not even listen. Okay, so start listening. You are then listening to people. There are surveys and so forth that people can do. Most people lie on the surveys. They say everything is fine, or they write things that the management wants to hear. And if they write the truth, well, the management hasn't done anything about it. So surveys are not exactly the best tools, but they still have their own place. But while someone is saying something to you, while you are listening to someone, one of our guest speakers said, listen for something. Did they recently go on a vacation? Do they have a dog? Is there something else going on in their life? Do they like the color blue or pink? And when you have listened for something and you share that, that person knows that there has been a quality conversation here. And the next time you speak, you remember about their vacation or about their dog and so forth, and you're creating these bridges of safety. See, we haven't even talked about how are you feeling? Are you feeling stressed? Can I do something about it? And those are the things that the usual well-being workshops are doing. But what we are looking for here is a feeling of safety that leads to engagement. And as it does that, you stay in that clarity state that gives you better decisions. That leads to better revenue. So listen for. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I hope I created something that you can use. Come on our website for more information. You can please send your questions to me and I'll keep answering it every Wednesday. If you want to be a guest speaker, please let me know. We have a wonderful lineup of speakers, and we need to just talk about what your experience has been in running a business, leading a team without stress and anxiety. And how can we convert that to something that can be measured? So, how can you grow your revenue along with peace? Talk safely with Mindly. My name is Jeev Sahu. See you next time.